everyone, I am Christine Piles with the Youth Services Department at the Euclid Public Library, and I'm here to tell you about graphic novels. For the last 2 years, I had the privilege to serve on the Young Adult Library Services Association's Great Graphic Novels for Teens Committee. I know that's a mouthful, but in this role, I read graphic novels in order to create a list of the greatest graphic novels for librarians to use when they are making purchases for their library collection. This past year, in the year of 2020, for our 2021 list, we read over 140 graphic novels, and about 125 graphic novels actually made the list as great graphic novels for teens. So I wanted to tell you about our top 10. These are the 10 best graphic novels that we read this year that have teen appeal and would be great for teenagers. They're not in any particular order, it's just the top 10. So the first is All-American Girl by Robin Ha. And this is a memoir, and Robin talks about her time coming to America from South Korea. So there's a lot of perspective about being an outsider and finding your community. It's a beautifully illustrated book, great teen appeal, lots of interest in what Robin has to say about her life. The second title is called Blue Flag, and it's by an author called Kaito. It's Kaito. And we nominated volumes 1 through 5. It is a manga, and this is a romance manga. There's a love quadrangle, so there's not just 2 people, there's not 3 people, there's 4 people. And a lot of it, they don't know who likes who. So it's a quadrangle that we can see as the reader, but they can't see it. Next is Fights, One Boy's Triumph Over Violence, and this is by Joel Christian Gill. He tells his story, another autobiographical book, about growing up in a single-parent household in the 1980s, and it covers his childhood and his young adulthood, and he was black, broke, and surrounded by uncertainty. A really excellent book. Next is Go With the Flow. This is by Karen Schieneman and illustrated by Lily Williams. And fed up with every tampon and pad dispenser at Hazleton High School, sophomores Abby, Britt, Christina, and Sasha decide to start a menstruation revolution. Through blog posts, letter writing, campaigns, and online fundraisers, the girls work together to make change. This is a really great book because there's a diverse cast of characters, and they are using their voices as teenagers to enact change in some part of their lives. I think this has appeal to even younger than teenagers. I would say maybe 10-year-olds. 10 and up would have interest in this book. It's a really honest and fun treat. Next is a nonfiction book called Guantanamo Voices, True Accounts from the World's Most Infamous Prison. This is by Sarah Merck. It was edited by Sarah. And then there's art by tons of different artists. So there's different stories and different art for each story, and these are stories that are true and about one aspect of the Guantanamo Bay prison. I know about Guantanamo Bay because of the early 2000s and the news and all of that, but reading these stories really brought the place to life, and just hearing stories from people who lived through it. There are people who have been in Guantanamo Bay for 20 years and have never contacted their family, or their family doesn't know where they are, or there's no record of who is in the prison. So there might be someone in there that no one knows is there. So it's just very sombering and sad to know about this place and that it exists in our country. Next is The Lolo Woods by Carmen Maria Machado. This is one that I nominated, and I absolutely loved it. I was just browsing Hoopla for some new graphic novels, and this book is incredible. So Elle and V are two of the main characters, and they black out and lose time while they're in a movie theater, and they're trying to figure out what happened, and they uncover horrifying secrets about their community that spans generations. So this is a horror graphic novel, and it's also kind of like body horror, environmental horror. It's not like jump scare, spooky stuff, but it's just when you get done with it, you feel icky. A really great book. And then I have The Magic Fish by Trung Gwen. And this is about a first-generation Vietnamese American boy who struggles with coming out of the closet with his parents. And his mom tells him these stories, like the fairy tales from Vietnam, and he's trying to connect with his mother through these fairy tales. Snapdragon by Kate Ley, and her last name is Leyh. It's a witch story. So Snapdragon knows witches aren't real, but when her dog goes missing, she checks at the local witch's house. So from there, an unlikely friendship begins, and Snapdragon discovers that witches may be real after all. Next is Superman Smashes the Klan by Jean Luen Yang. And this is just such a great story. It's set in the 40s. The main character is Roberta. She and her family move from Chinatown to Central Metropolis, where Superman is. And they're trying to fit in with their neighbors, but the Ku Klux Klan begins harassing the family, and Roberta teams up with her new friends to help Superman take down the Klan. This book is just so smart and action-packed. This is one that's truly all ages. Anyone could read this graphic novel. I would say as young as 3rd grade up through adult would really enjoy this. And finally, another superhero book made our top 10. Very exciting. And Wonder Twins by Mark Russell. Volume 1 and Volume 2 both made the list, and it is a satirical reboot about twins Zan and Jaina, and they have to balance their lives as high schoolers in Metropolis while trying to figure out if all the stuff they're doing as superheroes is actually helping to solve any of the world's real issues. This is just a small sampling of the books that we read for Great Graphic Novels for Teens. These are the top 10, so we had a committee of 14 people and we voted on these. This is not necessarily my top 10. This is the top 10 for the list. So tune in for next time when I give you a list of Christine's top 10 graphic novels for teens. Bye!